Hello. This is rather difficult to talk about, but if I bring something up, trying to get someone's attention, and then tragedies start happening, I I don't want to go there anymore. I like not at that moment for sure. I'm like, oh my God, I bring something up, and then horrible things are happening. It's privately. I want to be there, okay? You know, because that is the only thing. Because the conversation, I it's been going on my whole life. It's uh, there is no escape for me. Okay, I grew up in the Wild West, and every time I tried to escape, there was always a conspiracy, left or right, wherever I would go, because I couldn't find happiness. I couldn't find any success. George Washington couldn't find that. The story is that him and his little sister were born on Three Popes Creek in 1977 or 78. Okay, that's George Washington in a nutshell. Uh, that conspiracy, which I think goes to Ambassador Kennedy in the 1930s, when there was a lot of mentally retarded Germans, okay, of various ethnicities or religions, okay. Um, it wasn't just the Irish, okay, um, but and that someone might say, oh, but it was, you see, Kennedy was definitely Irish, and they weren't Germans, they were Jews or some wildly deranged uh, dialogue, the anti-science that happens because George Washington is on in the frontier, the Wild West, the accessible frontier, that coastal conspiracy indeed. Um, Far from the Mississippi Queen, the ultimate, whether it's an actual American woman, American mother, or a woman who simply learned how to be um, American. I wish I could find that case study. Um, that would be. I scarcely even research women because I don't want to feel like a creep or sound like one because it's a Kurt Cobain thing, complete exposure on the frontier for conspiracy. The other one is the historical case study, the well, how do South Africans feel about Donald Trump? Doesn't everyone want to know about this? Okay, um, New York and South Africa, I think, are just a sequence. Um, but yeah, and then the other part is that big tech and a lot of Hollywood, especially big tech, the really massive sort of interactive, and especially there's basically a connection between that I can quantify between me and all of them, that I don't want to like choose sides. I think no, you guys are all working together, okay? Um, and I would have gone to the kibbutz and beyond, far beyond, to all over the Indian Ocean, essentially. Um, if someone wanted to go with me, and that's never the case. Never someone who speaks good English and um, I'm actually friends with. If I see it online, I don't know what, or if some completely crazy person from the global south starts rearing their drunkenness anywhere near me or their insanity. Oh my God, um, and that might not be so much the Indian Ocean, but the Southern Atlantic to some degree. Um, that's what I found. The voodoo is over there, indeed. That's, primate is on the menu. I don't know what the hell. Um, and the Middle East, indeed. Okay, that's why I said the Indian Ocean and not so much uh, the Wild West. It's just yeah. I would have gone to the kibbutz and beyond Bollywood, and but no one. There's always like, oh, wouldn't this be cute if there was a terrorist attack or some monster or something like that? Says no, it'd be cute if there was thoughtful people. Okay, and maybe Kennedy should have been sent to Hollywood instead. Okay, maybe Teddy Roosevelt should have gone out there and made sure that Henry Ford uh, connected the dots or the automobiles so they uh, didn't have a rat race, more of a caravan. Um, how the elephants walk uh, tail to tail, or the camels walking along line. It's um, but yeah, I don't. When I see people who seem like, you know, well, I try to point out that, hey, this is. I could tell you why, okay, and I would love to do it in some long term, very long term job position where I can work on every kind of project there is. I do them myself. I quantify things, and I try to be very efficient and work with other people who are qualified. Otherwise, you couldn't do it efficiently. It would be rather difficult. It is difficult. But I like to do that. I want to help people, especially if I can tell you why everything is happening, why they're there, why they're both in power or in danger. But on the phone, it's just creating a deeper hole every time I move. It's quicksand, and I'm just online. No, okay. What else did I say? I wrote something on Twitter. It was the double negative that I don't want to. You know, I don't like double negatives in grammar. I find it's completely useless. Why put a double negative? You could put a double positive instead. Okay, the double negative. It's literally a sort of a dyslexic pretzel to me, and I they're pure annoyance. I would simply edit those out. I would banish them from any sort of text that I saw because and and it's difficult. I mean, I might as well just blank that out. I don't want to talk. I want to hear the. I can't even really use it in a sentence using the double negatives, and you can use it probably as a weapon if you want to, create victims. Why not? Go for it. You're special, right? I um, am utterly cautious. Okay, so are if there's a double positive, I always want to be there. Okay, if it's if you're trying to create a disaster, or you're saying, oh, I'm hurt, I'm injured, I'm like that because of me. All right, specifically, you want me to keep talking so that more threats happen? Okay, I want to work for the corporations, and it would be good, it would be fantastic. And I do like to take on a character other than an American. I do and nothing sleazy either. Okay, I know that sleaze exists all over the world in every country in the world. Um, so that's why I try to be very scientific. And if someone's hurt, I freeze right there. I'm like, no, you want me to keep going? You want me to act like this is okay? Like I'm capable of just, uh, you know, that's a fucking delusion. Okay, someone at a advanced AI, enemy AI actually. Okay, there's two kinds. There's the good one, and there's the bad one. Then there's the double bad one, and there's the double good one. Okay, you just want victims. Okay, you can do that, can't you? Do I have to be the excuse for every insane tragedy that affects people who I try to explain? Um, so if there's someone, if I try to say, hey, I think this is great. Um, maybe this is why you guys are happening and stuff like that, and it's very scientific. Um, I'm exhausted at that point. I try to go into the full engineering mode at that point. Like once it starts to line up, I don't want to have a conversation unless if we're actually friends. If it's online, someone's going to weaponize that, and I just don't want to say, "Oh yeah, so another school shooting, another mass shooting." No, privately only.